Los Angeles, California, you might expect economic crisis drive on the 2018 Mercedes-AMG S65 Coupe to start with a rosy recollection of motoring on the Côte d'Azur by using a fragrant waft of lilac blooms. But our defining moment in Benz's $250,900 Uber Coupe differed slightly, specifically, getting caught inside left turn lane of any bustling intersection along a really ruthless stretch of Central L.A.'s Pico Boulevard. The light had just switched to red, leaving a moment to accelerate into a hard left turn before angry cross-traffic will make mincemeat in the German coupe. As trivial as it might sound, that left turn could gone disastrously wrong in the previous generation of Mercedes-AMG's immensely powerful S65 Coupe. It's taken years with the boys in Affalterbach to tweak the formula for 12-cylinder top dog, obfuscated with the simple and decidedly first-world issue of how to wrangle ungodly numbers of torque. In this situation, a sensational 738 lb-ft or 1,000 Nm of rotation on the hand-built, 6.0-liter twin-turbo V12. As such, earlier iterations only squeezed 5 forward gears to the transmission, and if the line acceleration was hampered by an Altoiazole-triggered traction control system. Even more problematic, maximum twist now commences in a mere 2,300 revolutions per minute and doesn't abate for an additional pair 2,000 revolutions per minute, requiring tighter orchestration of throttle type-in, transmission slip, traction control, and rear-wheel grip while executing that quick, hard left turn from your standstill. Spoiler alert, the torque-tastic Tador squirted ahead and from harm's way, exiting the vehicular maelstrom by having an effortless whoosh of almost silent turbochargers. Improvements through the recently updated S-Class sedan have trickled in the coupe for 2018, included in this a new command multimedia interface that's SP Watch more seamlessly across an individual bonded glass panel, replacing the separate screen solution with the previous version. Minor aesthetic changes include new headlamps and OLED taillamps, new interior trim options, revised back and front bumpers, and a fresh Panamericana grille that recalls golden era Benz's. Other 2018 S-Class coupes and cabriolets receive the gift of smaller displacement and greater power. The S560's displacement drops from 4.7 to 4.0 liters. But output increases by 14 horsepower for any total of 463 torque remains unchanged at 516 lb-ft, whilst the S63's twin-turbo V8 now displaces 4.0 liters rather than 5.5 but produces 603 horsepower than the outgoing model's 577 horsepower. This AMG V8 differentiates by reviewing the usage in Class AMGs through bigger turbos and greater boost, but cylinder deactivation must be used only in coupes to take care of a premium oral experience from the convertible models. The S63s also gain Mercedes-Benz's MCT 9-speed automatic, which replaces the outgoing box's torque converter that has a wet start-off clutch as well as the ability to shift quicker with double clutching when needed. Speed demons can no doubt appreciate the multi-clutch gearbox's so-called race start function, an otherwise gentlemanly technique of sane launch control. AMG decided to not wreak havoc on V12 success as well as the S65 retains its 621 horsepower, 738 lb-ft output and recently added 7-speed auto. A fully variable 4MATIC Plus strategy is now standard on all S63 models, but keeping things counterintuitive, the torquiest top dog S65 retains its rear-drivenly configuration, pushing each one of its prodigious chants to the aft wheels. As a result, the plebeian S560 accelerates to 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds, the manly S63 does the deed in the mere 3.4 seconds, whilst the S65 requires 4.0 seconds. The S63 and S65 we sampled in Los Angeles felt imperviously quiet and quick, with better sound satisfaction inside V8 model if your sport exhaust button or perhaps the appropriately aggressive S+ setting was selected. These super sleds tick an entire slew of boxes for speed-seeking sybarites, off their outrageously comfortable and lastly, massaging seats for their outstanding interior materials and delightful cabin details such as complex curves of supple leather about the instrument panel, thinly pinstriped piano black accents, as well as the way the cabin elegantly wraps around passengers. My only quibble with my tester's designation interior was the curiously garish Swarovski crystal within the center console with the otherwise discreet interior. Leave the S63 in regular driving modes, and there's enough power on tap for your 9-speed to shift early and smoothly, imperceptibly nudging the 2.5-ton car ahead without drama. Punch it, and also the proceedings occur considerably more quickly, though with surprisingly little perception of speed. Sure, there's more accompanying sound and forces, however, these big Benzes are masterful at masking their velocity, insulating occupants inside quietness on the cabin as well as the suppleness from the air suspension, even convertible form. Things receive a tad saucy if your exhaust snaps, crackles, and shows up its most aggressive setting, as well as the soft-top model can drop its top to amplify the sounds in 20 seconds that accelerates to 40 miles per hour. But within the grand scale of automotive raciness, Mercedes is ultimately playing an activity of millimeters here, incrementally turning the dial extremely slightly to yield a greater effect from this subtly altered tuning. As such, the threshold for imperfection when operating at these elevated levels is usually heightened. One jerky downshift at slower speeds inside S63 seems downright jarring, whereas an identical experience in the lesser car has been more easily dismissed. Defying expectations could be the maneuverability of both models on canyon roads. Despite their expansive proportions, S-Coupes tend to be than 20 inches more than a Corvette. They are able to go where they're aimed, together with the assistance of brake vectoring and surprisingly reassuring steering feel. As the sun sets around the sparkling Pacific while piloting the S65 throughout the heart of Malibu, I'm flanked by a constellation of high-dollar competitors. There are Bentley Continental GTs and Rolls-Royce Wraiths vying for attention, heavy hitters with this lofty-to-door segment. Frankly, if keeping up using the $300,000 to $500,000 Joneses will be your bag, Mercedes-Benz's handsome big coupes might not be your steeds usually chosen. But when enveloped inside the S-Coupe's impeccable cabin, ensconced away through the noise and the world, engineering and type have a means of quietly and assertively making their case, offering an instant, quiet solution to disappear in the distance.